the last thing we want to do is to jump back 3 stages backwards, back in the inflammation stage, and, start from scratch. Right now, it's not starting from scratch for me. It's just really being disciplined in focusing on my health and my retraining of my nervous system. So then that way my body feels safe to do this work. If my body feels safe to do this work and to do this purpose that I have, then I will feel better and I won't have these panic attacks, itch attacks, nervousness, itchiness when I'm coming to sit down to record a podcast, to speak to a customer, to work with my team, to make videos, any of those day-to-day actions. I need to sit down and slow down and retrain my brain and really focus on that discipline and do it at a harmonious pace. Welcome to the Skin Deep Podcast, everyone. This is your go-to source for everything skin health and self-care, especially when it comes to eczema, dermatitis, and other skin conditions. I'm your host, Mekisha Banks. It's been some few weeks since I've recorded a podcast episode, and it's really because I realized I was in denial of my self-care. I think we all have this tendency to just keep going, and not realize when we need to stop and slow down. I was on this momentum of yes, I'm recovering from my eczema. I'm doing great for my skin. Everything is going great with my business. But I was slowly kind of having, itch attacks. I was having these little mini panic attacks, not even fully panic attacks. I would say they were just this underlying nervousness and anxiety that's very kind of small, but the only way you'll notice them is if you actually stop and slow down and realize that something's happening. So for example, in our last few episodes, I've been talking a lot about the proliferation stage and then going into the maturation stage, retraining my brain in terms of not having those nervous kind of itching or that nervous feeling in my skin. And I felt like I was getting over it, but there was days where it kind of snuck up on me and I realized it when I'm doing some work and all of a sudden I want to itch myself. And again, if you've been following my journey on social media, you would notice that my skin doesn't have the broken, itchy, inflamed skin. It's just the discoloration. So really and truly, I shouldn't be having these itch attacks. But like we know, the body holds on to information. The body holds on to emotions. The body holds on to patterns and habits that we almost programmed into us after some time. So that's where it's you have to recognize when this is happening and slow down the body and slow down your breathing, slow down the actions that you're taking, and recognize when you have a pattern that needs to be reprogrammed. So for instance, I was, recording podcasts and I was doing my work and working with interns and co-op students and so forth, and just really looking at scaling my business, doing the day-to-day things that we want to do to scale our business. But for some reason, I would get these little itchy moments where I'm just about to do some work and all of a sudden I start itching. And I know that I've talked about retraining my brain, but I really had to step back and put that into practice. And that's the reason why I stopped podcasting and I stopped doing a lot of work for a few weeks, because in order for me to heal, truly heal, or anyone to truly heal, we have to stop. We have to stop and take care of ourselves. No matter what our goal is, financially, career-wise, at work or anything, we have to stop and take care of ourselves in order to actually truly have true healing. So that's when I realized that in terms of my body, it was having progress, but then I would see a little bit of a decline, and then I would have progress and I would have decline. I was sleeping really well some nights, and some nights I wasn't really sleeping well. And I realized it's because I was still in that yo-yo back and forth with my skin. I was still back and forth with my nervous system and the habits that are still stored in my cells. And that's when I had to sit there and say, okay, I need to take a break from everything for a few weeks and really just take care of myself. My birthday came on June 7th, which was a few days after I had my last episode air. And I just said, okay, I have to take a little bit of time and just take care of myself, because otherwise, what are we all doing here? What am I doing here talking to you about eczema if I'm not healing myself through this whole process as well? So even while I'm doing this recording, I'm literally ice packing myself. I'm ice packing myself because the same itches will come up, because it's like, oh my gosh, we're doing something that would make us nervous, that made us, very anxious. And it's not something that makes me anxious. This makes me happy. I'm so happy recording podcasting. But at a point before, I was doing it from a place of hustle, mandatory. I need to get this done. It is like a work, kind of feeling, versus I was having joy doing it. Even though I had joy doing the actual podcasting, I have joy doing my work for my company, but there was a part where it wasn't enjoyable. I was doing it from a place of hustle. I was doing it from a place of scarcity. I was doing it from a place of proving to other people and to myself that I can do this, versus it coming from a place of, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to do this. I love my work. I love my mission. I love the purpose. I love what I'm doing for other people. So that's why I had to take a step back and really look at, okay, am I doing this for myself? Am I doing this for other people? And if I am doing it for myself and other people, how can I tie those two things together in a harmonious, balanced way where I'm not feeling burnout, I'm not feeling anxious, I'm not feeling these panic and itch attacks, and I can do this from a place where I'm in calm and peace and in joy. And that's why I had to take that time off for a few weeks to come back to myself and, slow down and recognize when I'm having those itch attacks, and recognize when I'm having those emotions and those trapped feelings, and deal with them. So this episode today is really just to kind of encourage everyone to just take care of themselves. Don't feel obligated to be on that go rat race or that borderline chronic stress to perform, to do things, to be out there 24/7 when it's at the expense of your health. Your health is most important. Your skin, your recovery is most important. And slowing down is the best thing for you to do in order to, I would say, speed up later on or to continue moving forward. The last thing we want to do is to jump back 15 stages backwards, or not 15, but 3 stages backwards, back in the inflammation stage, and, start from scratch. Right now, it's not starting from scratch for me. It's just really being disciplined in focusing on my health and my retraining of my nervous system. So then that way my body feels safe to do this work. If my body feels safe to do this work and to do this purpose that I have, then I will feel better and I won't have these panic attacks, itch attacks, nervousness, itchiness when I'm coming to sit down to record a podcast, to speak to a customer, to work with my team, to make videos, any of those day-to-day actions. I need to sit down and slow down and retrain my brain and really focus on that discipline and do it at a harmonious pace. So again, I am so happy to be back at, recording. I want to, pick up where I left off on some of the, different episodes that I have, and, really just allow people to understand that I'm human and you're human, and we need to slow down to take care of ourselves. Don't allow yourself to burn out or to go backwards on your healing journey because you feel like you're okay, but then you start going forward, but you start feeling certain things and certain sensations and itchiness and so forth. And, you don't pay attention to those signs and keep going. And then all of a sudden you break down and then you're back to ground zero. Take the time to recognize those moments where your skin is speaking to you, saying, hey, I need some attention. We're not done healing. Please still slow down. Let me catch up to you, because our brain is always ahead of us, but our body is not caught up yet. So let me slow down. Let me take a breath or two and let me start going forward, but on the right track in order for my skin to catch up with me. So this is me telling you, you have permission to do it. Do not discourage yourself. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel shame about it. Feel empowered, feel grounded, feel loved from yourself that it's okay to do it, because it is okay. Since when did we have this, this mark on our head that we have to do this at this time? So again, my name is Mekisha. Please like, share, subscribe, and let other people know about this podcast, especially if you know they're suffering from eczema as well, or other mental health or skin health issues. And hopefully this podcast can help them, especially if it's helped you. Again, in the show notes, you'll see the hacks that I have there for really fast tracking some of your healing. There's some hacks for eczema. There are some of our eczema kits for skincare. A lot of that is in the show notes, so you'll see some resources in there. And as always, my name is Mekisha. This is your podcast for your health, your eczema, and for your skincare. We'll see you soon. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in to the Skin Deep podcast. Don't forget to download your free guide to our 10 hacks to great skin. Just check the link in our bio. I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Have an amazing day, everyone, and enjoy your self-care Sunday.